July 1954, airport in Tokyo was buzzing. A businessman, middle-aged, made his way to the front of the line. He handed over his passport. The customs agent looked puzzled and asked his name. Broderick Janansfer, said the man. Date of birth? The man replied, 11th of September, 88. Country of birth? The man replied, I'm from Taured. The customs agent had never heard of a country called Taured. Neither did the agent's supervisor. Then the customs agent asked, do you think you could show us on a map where Taured is? So he says, of course. He pointed to a small country on the border of France and Spain. The officers told him that he was pointing to the Principality of Andorra, and there's no such place as Taured. Janansfer started arguing. He said the kingdom of Taured is 1,000 years old, and he'd never heard of anything called Andorra. Janansfer then said he had traveled through this very airport twice this month and never had a problem. He had stamps in his passport to prove it. The customs agents confirmed that the stamps were authentic. As a business traveler, he carried different currencies with him. The customs agents examined the money. He had currency from Japan and several European nations, but he also had money from Taured, which seemed like real currency except for the fact that there's no such place. The agents started to suspect Janansfer might be up to no good, maybe a criminal or a spy. They asked where he was staying. Janansfer gave them the number of his, they called the hotel, which was there, but they had no reservation under this man's name. So Janansfer instructed the agents to call his office in Tokyo. Surely this would settle the matter. They called. The company had no record of an employee named Broderick Janansfer. The man from Taured and the customs agents were stunned. They had no idea what to do, but they couldn't let the man go without investigating. They confiscated Broderick Janansfer's passport, his money, and other documents. He was put up in a hotel near the airport for the night. 2 armed guards were stationed outside his door at all times. He was instructed that the phone would only work to call room service. The evening passed without incident. Janansfer complained of a headache. He ordered room service and settled in for the night. The following morning, the customs agents called Janansfer's room but got no answer. When they entered the room, the man from Taured was gone. The room was spotless. The bed was made. There was no sign that anyone had eaten a meal or that anyone had even been there. The guards were chewed out by their supervisor for letting this man slip away, but they insisted that they did not leave their post. The windows didn't open, and the door was the only way in or out. Nobody went in or came out of that room all night. Now, back at the airport, Customs was still investigating. When they went to retrieve Janansfer's documents, even though they were stored in a locked security office, they were gone. The passport, wallet, checkbook, everything vanished. It's as if the man from Taured never existed. The theory that's most popular is that the man from Taured was actually from an alternative universe. Somehow, during his flight, he crossed over into this one. Nothing on the flight changed that much that he noticed. He was just unaware that the country he was from no longer existed.
And so the multiverse is not just some invention out of the ether. It flows out of an application of quantum mechanics to general relativity.
You mentioned parallel universes. The eyes sort of roll up and you giggle and you say to yourself, oh, this is just nuts. However, things have changed now. The paradigm has shifted. The multiverse idea, once thought to be so crazy, has now become the dominant theory in cosmology.
And that night, when he was complaining of a headache, it could have been our 2 realities trying to get back into sync. And when they did, the man and his belongings went back to the correct universe. This is called the many worlds theory. Every time a quantum measurement is taken, the universe branches off into another parallel universe. And maybe, at the very same time in the other universe, a businessman from Andorra was having a difficult day.